everybody. Welcome back to Getting the Edge. This is going to be a very special four-part mini-series. Yes, I know we're already doing a series, but this is going to be a mini-series about how we can prepare ourselves for competition, both from the physical standpoint and the psychological standpoint. There's a lot of information to cover, so I'm going to break it down into mini episodes that are going to be maybe 10, 12 minutes long because there's so much information. Today, which what I'm going to talk about right now, is going to be our introduction of what we're going to be discussing throughout the episode, as well as starting off our first topic, okay? The first part, so essentially what we're going to cover in these mini episodes is how to get ourselves ready to perform at our best in a competition, both from the physical standpoint and the psychological standpoint. So part one is going to talk about preparation for competition during the week, what we can do to help ourselves be ready to compete. And we're going to see that it's multifaceted, okay? Part two is what we can do from the psychological standpoint before the competition to get ourselves ready. Some tricks of the trade to help ease our body, ease our mind, and get us to dial in so we're absolutely prepared for the competition, okay? And there's some concepts we'll talk about with that. Part three is going to discuss what you can do at the competition physically and psychologically to be at your best for that competition. So there are going to be some specific things that you're going to do before you wrestle and during the competition to help maximize your potential. And finally, part four is we're going to talk about what we need to do after the competition to reflect and look at things that work, things that didn't work, things that we need to improve on. So this is going to be a very, very important, interesting content for the episode. So there's a lot to go over. So we're going to break it down in like I said, into these mini little lessons. So let's talk about preparation during the week, okay? I said it's multifaceted, and that means that there are different dynamics involved that are going to help you throughout the week, throughout the season to prepare for these competitions, all right? So we're working on our process goals in practice. We have a performance goal coming up at the end of the week, okay? So we need to start, well, we should be getting ourselves ready the entire year, but this is going to kind of help us zone in even more. Things that you can do during your practices to get the most out of it physically and psychologically, okay? So is your body ready to compete physically? Are you training correctly? Are you working on fixing those little things? Which you should be. Those should be part of your process goals during practice. And then are you working on the mental aspect of improvement, the art of relaxing and focusing on success, reducing your anxiety, having fun and being fully in the moment? Those are crucial as we are getting ready to compete. And the more that you buy into the mental prep aspect of this, the easier you're going to find it to relax and not stress out and have these anxieties, okay? So we need to work on these every day to maximize our potential. Let's talk about how we can get the most out of our practice. This is from the physical standpoint. Now, you hear your coaches talk a lot about you need to work hard every day. I'm going to take it a step further that yes, that's true, but we also need to apply the concept of training hard and smart every day. Now, you're probably thinking like, well, aren't they the same thing? If I work hard, aren't I training hard? The answer is maybe, okay? When I look at working hard, okay, what I mean by this is that are you giving 100% of your physical effort into all training activities? You know, most of us try to do this in practice every day. We try to work as hard as we can. Some days are better than others. This is focusing on the physical output of our practice. Are you doing things extra at the end of practice? Are you doing extra sprints? Are you climbing the ropes at the end of practice? Are you doing extra push-ups and all that kind of stuff? Or are you just doing the very bare minimum? If you're doing the bare minimum, you're working kind of hard, okay? But are you giving 100% effort in everything that you do. You're not taking reps off when you drill. All right. That's working hard. Your physical output is at its max. And some of us are like, okay, so isn't that training hard and smart? No, it's not. Training hard and smart means that you're dialed into fixing the little things that your coaches want you to focus on. All right, fixing your mistakes and your technique, improving technique, focusing on every aspect of your drill. And when you're drilling, giving your partner a good feel, and then having your partner give you a good feel. And what I mean by this is that most of us don't know how to drill correctly, okay? So we're working hard. Yeah, we're going at a hard pace. Our heart rate's up, we're sweating, but we're not training hard and smart. So when you drill, we need to change some things up about how you're drilling with your partner. Number one, you need to get a partner that is going to make you work, all right? When I'm drilling with somebody at practice and they're going to be doing the first takedown, okay, they don't just dive in on my legs, because when we're wrestling in a match, we don't dive in on legs. We have a setup. So if there's no setup, I'm down blocking my drill partner to their face and going behind them. Okay, they've got to hit a setup. It's got to be some sort of setup, whether they're using a specific tie, whether they're adding foot fakes or body fakes, that there's some sort of approach to the takedown, okay? Now, I'm not being rigid. I'm not stopping them. I'm not wrestling live, all right? I'm giving them about 60% effort. So they're going to have to work to get to the leg. So if their setup isn't good, I'm not just going to stand there and give them my leg. They're going to have to move me to get to the shot, all right? Now, when they get to the shot, I'm not just going to turn and bail and give them the takedown. I'm going to make them work to finish the takedown, because when we're in a match, the guy isn't just going to give up and turn and belly down. No, we have to work to get our finish. And if your coach is worth anything, they've added an additional part to the finish where you're looking for back points. You know, whether it's hitting a double leg right to a Turk, whether when you finish your single, you go to a specific ride or a tilt. Okay, so it's not just getting that flash finish that looks pretty and you're back to your feet. Okay, so we're making our opponent, our drill partner, work for their finish. Now, once I have finished my takedown, I am not just going to release my opponent and cut them and stand back up and immediately dive in on a leg. No, I'm going to make them work back to their base. I'm going to guide them to their feet, and I'm going to make them escape. Okay, that's also working the defensive man to land correctly, so we don't land on our back, we don't land on our hip, we don't land sprawled out, that we try to land in good wrestling position. And if we get to our belly, we're working on pushing back in correctly, getting to our base, hitting maybe a knee slide or a quarter turn, and getting to our feet and escaping, not just releasing the guy and going back to a silly shot, all right? It's a lot harder than it looks, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you the tools that when you get out there on a mat, that when you get in on a leg shot, you don't just expect the guy to belly down, that you work really hard in that transition to finish, all right? So that's by training hard and training smart, is by listening to everything that your coach is doing. Like when we go over a specific takedown and you might have a different finish, you don't just go do your finish because it's easy. You listen to what the coach is instructing, you've watched, you ask good questions, and you do what he wants you to do. So you are 100% bought in to every practice, every moment of practice. And I know that it can be difficult because, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on during practice. You know, I have ADD, so for me to be able to focus 100%, I really, really have to concentrate. And I think if you do that, you're going to feel a lot better during practice, that not only are you working hard, you know, hardest of your ability that day, but you're also training hard every day, and you're learning the good habits that will carry over into matches when you need them. And what goes along with the concept of working hard and training hard is evaluating how you did in that practice. So after you finish your homework, when you get home at night, you know, take out your journal and be honest with yourselves. Did you meet your practice goals? You know, what did you need to specifically work on? Did you do that? Did you fix it? If not, why didn't you? Did you work hard? Did you do anything extra? Did you stay after 20, 25 minutes to get some extra conditioning in? Did you wrestle with a coach? Or are you doing the bare minimum? And if you really think about it and be honest with yourself, is doing the bare minimum going to make you win that tournament or win that event over the weekend? Okay. So we need to look at how hard we worked. Then, we also need to look at how hard we trained. Were you dialed into practice today, or did you zone out? Did coach have to redirect you for staring off into space? How was your drilling? Did you make your opponent finish every takedown correctly? Or did you just kind of belly down and let them do whatever they wanted? And when you were executing your technique, did you hit a good penetration step? Did you have a good setup? Did you have a good finish, or did you just default to what you normally do? Did you cut the guy on the way back up, or did you make him escape? The more that you train hard and focus in on those little details, the better you're going to compete, okay? So you can see that there's a difference between working hard and training hard. They work together, but they're a little bit different concepts. So hopefully you understand that and can make those adjustments during your practice.